Come on, bro.
I'm ready for the word now.
Well, guys, I hope you are excited for the lesson tonight. Thank you. Thank you. All right, wow. Wow, this is how we're going to start off. I'll take it. I'll take it. Guys, open up your Bibles to the book of John, chapter 8.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about something super important. We're going to talk about something that I believe a lot of us don't even know or believe that it exists. Tonight, we are going to talk about the truth. Tonight, we're going to talk about the truth. And what is truth? Truth is something that is unshakable, unchangeable. Truth is something that applies to all people, at all times, for all generations. And a lot of us, we grow up in a society, and you know what they teach us about truth? They teach us about truth that it's more like an opinion. Yeah. You ever have someone tell you something and kind of rub you the wrong way, and you're like, well, that's your truth. Or you ever gone to someone and you ever talk to someone and they tell you that, like, oh, bro, that's your truth. And it's like, wait, what? And really, we get confused, opinions and truths, right? And so we really got to understand truth. Let me give you some truth. The Oakland Raiders are a terrible football team.
Sorry, what are you doing?
All right.
I knew this place wasn't for me.
My best friend Dylan loves the Raiders. I give him a hard time. But if I said that was a truth, really, you guys hopefully as critical thinking college students, you'd be like, no, that is an opinion, right? That is an opinion. However, truth, this might be something that's true. I believe it's true 100%. But it's not about my belief, it's about truth. I believe that, if I let go of this phone, I believe these keys will drop. There you go. If I let go of this phone, I believe it's going to drop. Has it dropped yet? No. No, but if I let go, what's going to happen? Yeah, it's going to drop, right? So what if we grew up, and let's take my friend Dylan here, and let's take my friend Logan here in the front row. And we grew up in different cultures, in different parts of the world, in different countries. One of us is rich, one of us is educated, one of us is neither rich nor educated, so we're all different.
Rich.
And Logan's the smartest one. He goes, guys, I want to tell you about this invisible force that affects everything. It affects all people. It never changes. It's called gravity.
Wow.
Look, Dylan is like, tell me more. He's curious. I'm over here. I'm like, gravity? I never heard of gravity. And Logan's like, yeah, gravity is it's what makes us sit in the chair, so we're not floating.
Dang, really?
Yeah, gravity is like when I drop my phone. It's force. It moves the phone down. I'm like, what are you talking about? I don't understand. No one ever told me. My mom didn't tell me. My teachers didn't tell me. My religion didn't tell me about gravity. I don't believe you, Logan. Logan is like, no, but there's math. 9.8 meters per second squared. An object of mass falling through space over a determined period of time. That's gravity. And I'm like, that's some fancy schmancy words, Logan. Ain't no invisible force controlling my life. Logan looks over at Dylan. Dylan, what do you think? He's like, I don't know. It's just your word, Logan, against Nate's word. So I choose to not know. Yeah. Man. Here's the thing. How do we know who's right or who's wrong? We don't even like that, right and wrong. Oh, that means that could offend people. Guys, the truth doesn't care.
That's so true.
Whether I accept gravity or not, what always exists?
Gravity.
You see, gravity is true. Whether we're rich or poor, black or white, educated or uneducated, religious or non-religious, it's true. It affects all people, right? And in the same way that gravity is true, I would put before you the Bible, the very words of God, is truth. It's truth. We have to read it, know it, discover it. And once we discover it, we've got to make a decision
come on, bro.
to either accept the truth or reject it.
Okay, come on, bro.
Truth? Well, I thought all I needed to do was believe. All I needed to do was believe in Jesus.
Is that the truth?
Well, people can believe the wrong thing. I'm not saying Jesus is the wrong thing, but people can believe the wrong thing. Just how I believe there's no such thing as gravity. Yeah, I'm absolutely wrong.
Yeah.
Because all of the evidence, the truth is, there is what?
Gravity.
Yeah, right? So let's go over here. Did Jesus talk like this? What would Jesus say?
About gravity.
John chapter 8, verse 31 and 32.
What did he say?
The title of the lesson is The Truth at All Costs.
Whoa.
The Truth at All Costs.
Fire.
To the Jews who believed in him, Jesus said, if you hold to my teachings, you are really my disciples. Then you will know the truth. And the truth will set you free. There it is. There it is. You see, Jesus says that his teachings are truth. But even more than that, we're not even going to be able to identify that his teachings are true just by reading them. He goes, if you hold to my teachings, if you do what I teach, if you live them out, if they become your life, then you will know the truth. Then meaning after.
Come on, bro.
After we begin to live by the words of God, we will know the truth. And the truth will set us free.
Come on.
You know, the Bible's a book all about truth. But why is it hard for people to accept truth? Well, truth gets fuzzy. When it's hard, when it doesn't go with what we've always known. Truth gets hard when truth produces pain. When we're hurt as people, you know what we want to do? We want to compromise.
Yeah, come on.
This is so hard. This hurts too much. I don't know if I can do this. But it's right. I know, but right? You know, you guys ever been there before?
Yeah. Come on.
That's when truth gets fuzzy. You know, there's a man who took a stand for the truth. There's a man in the Bible, we're going to study him out today. His name is Job. Turn your Bibles over to Job chapter 1. You know, in the middle of trying to follow God in college, in the middle of being in Norman, Oklahoma, in the middle of tests, in the middle of homework, in the middle of stress, in the middle of pressure, in the middle of hardship, in the middle of friendships and relationships, and how do I live a life for God? I know I want to follow Jesus. I know I want the truth. But I know I got to get good grades. I know I got to do this. It's just so hard. How do I have the truth at all costs? Well, the first step is that you and I must have strength through the suffering. We must have strength through the suffering. That's my first point.
Come on, Nate.
Strength through suffering. Let's pick it right here. Job chapter 1, verse 1.
Come on, Nate.
Come on, bro.
Bible says, in the land of Uz. What it says? In the land of Uz, there lived a man whose name was Job. It's not Job, Job. Now, check this out. Pay attention. This man was blameless and upright. He feared God and shunned. He turned away from what? From evil. This is like a stand-up guy. Did everything right. Blameless. He had 7 sons, 3 daughters. He's a family man. He owned 7,000 sheep, 3,000 camels, 500 yoke of oxen, 500 donkeys, and a large number of servants. AKA, he's very, very rich. In the Bible time, the Elon Musk type rich, Jeff Bezos, but he's just not a jerk, right? He's an upright guy. No, not only this, he's very famous. He's very famous. He was the greatest man among all the people of the East. So he's actually very famous. This guy's rich, famous, blameless, upright. This guy's awesome. Verse 4. His sons used to hold feasts in their homes on their birthdays. They had birthday party. They would invite their 3 sisters to eat and drink with them. When the period of feasting ran its course, Job would make arrangements for them to be purified. Early in the morning, Job would sacrifice a burnt offering for each of them, thinking, perhaps my children have sinned and cursed God in their hearts. This was Job's regular custom. I'm going to sum this up in one sentence. Job is a good father. He cares about the spirituality of his children. Man, this guy checking all the boxes. Check, check, check. Man, we should be like Job. All right.
Come on, bro.
That's all that is happening on earth.
Yes, sir.
Now we are about to jump in a behind-the-scenes look. We're about to jump from the physical planet of earth where everything is happening that we just read.
Yes.
And we're going to go into the spiritual world.
Cool.
We're going to the spiritual realm. Let's see what happens.
Okay.
Verse 6. One day, the angels came to present themselves before the Lord, and Satan also came with them. The Lord said to Satan, "Where have you come from?" Satan answered the Lord, "From roaming throughout the earth, going back and forth on it." Isn't that crazy?
Yep.
Now, we learn a lot here. Number one, Satan cannot be everywhere at once. He's not omnipresent. You know how God can be everywhere at once? Satan can't do that. He can only be in one location. Right? So he goes to earth, he roams back and forth on it. And we know Satan's just doing a bunch of bad stuff. But God calls a meeting. He calls all the angels. Angels, come before me. Tell me what you've been up to. And joining the group is who? Satan.
Dang.
He goes, "Oh, haven't seen you since I kicked you out of here." Oh. But, what you been up to? Satan's like, "Yeah, my usual business, man. Causing little problems on earth." What do we think God would say? What do we hope God would say?
Get out of my sight.
Get out of my sight? Yeah, Jordan nailed it. Well, knock it off. Stop that, Satan. Stop ruining earth and people and plans, right? What does he say, though? Verse 8. Just read it. Let's read the Bible. Then the Lord said to Satan, "Have you considered my servant Job?"
Oh my gosh.
When's the last time you paid a visit to Job?
Oh.
When's the last time you went and made some trouble in Job's life?
Oh my God.
And then look at this. There is no one on earth like him. He is blameless, upright, a man who fears God and shuns evil. Does Job fear God for nothing? Satan replied, "Have you not put a hedge around him and his household and everything he has? You have blessed the work of his hands, that his flocks and herds spread throughout the land. But now, stretch out your hand, strike everything he has. He will surely curse you to your face." The Lord said to Satan, "Very well. Everything he has is in your power, but do not lay a finger on the man." Then Satan went out from the presence of the Lord.
Wow.
Not what we'd expect, huh?
Yeah. No.
Took a turn.
Yeah, God is like, "Hey, my servant, Logan." Us.
Yeah.
He reads his Bible. He shares his faith. He goes to church. He treats people. Logan is us.
Yes.
Logan, my servant, Maria. She's getting a Maria. She pays a contribution. She's fundraising for missions. My servant, Luke Paul. There's an incredible church in Oklahoma. Satan, have you paid them a little visit? Don't consider me. Hold up. God, are you sure? Like, are you sure? Right? It's kind of like Job's doing everything right. Some of us had this thought, maybe I'll start doing some wrong things. So like, God doesn't like think so high of me, right? We all want God to think high of us. Good, do all the right things, and guess what's gonna happen? You can get a little visit from Satan. Yeah, from the Satan here. And God and Satan view human beings. They view you and I very differently. God believes that people love him for who he is. Satan thinks that people love God because what God gives them. Satan tells God, of course Job loves you. You gave him money, wealth, power, fame, a good family. Of course Job, anyone would follow you, God. Anyone would be a Christian. Because you give them a bunch of good stuff. And God looks at Job God looks at Job on earth and looks at Satan and is like, dude, this guy loves me because he knows me. So we have a relationship. You could take away all of the goodies, all of the blessings, all of the benefits from Job, and he would still love me. Satan's like, you sure? And God says, bet.
There you go.
So that's exactly what happens, doesn't it?
Yep, that's what happens. So Satan goes down to earth and pays Job a little visit. We're not going to read it all for time's sake, but it's rough. Job wakes up one day and you know what happens?
All the animals are dead.
All of his animals, all of his money's gone. All of his crops are destroyed. His sons and daughters are in a house celebrating the birthday of one of their siblings. A tornado! Just like what we're going to perhaps see very soon. And a lightning storm. Fire from heaven falls. Destroys the house. Kills his kids. Kills his family.
Let's hope that doesn't happen.
Job loses what? Job loses everything. Sons, daughters, wealth, land, God. It's rough. It's rough. You know, we have to ask ourselves, in this conversation between Satan and the devil, am I more on like Satan's point of view or God's? Am I following God because he blesses me with a boyfriend, with a girlfriend, because he blesses me, because I got good grades, or because he keeps me safe and protects me, because everything goes my way, because I have a job, because I have money? Why do we follow God?
Come on.
Good question.
Talk about
I
it.
think a lot of people look at their relationship with God how Satan looks at humans' relationships with God. I follow God for what he can give me.
Come on.
But we got to understand, we got to follow God because God is God.
Yeah.
And who he is worth loving and knowing and being in a relationship with.
Come on, Nate.
Come on, bro.
Come on, bro.
You know what happens in our life when hardship hits? Remember, this point, title of this point is Strength Through Suffering. Strength through suffering. What happens when hardship hits? Let's go over here, Job 36.
Come on, bro.
Ooh, take us there.
Job 36. God, by the way, we're only 12 verses into Job, so.
This is lovely.
Job chapter 36, and we'll look right here in verse 21.
Come on, bro.
Let's go, bro.
It says right here, Job 36:21. It says, beware of turning to evil, which you seem to prefer to affliction. Beware of turning to evil, which you seem to prefer to affliction. Here it is, guys. I'm your friend. Even if you're just visiting with us tonight, I care about you. If you don't believe me, I'm a pastor. Like, I have to care about you, all right? And I want to help you here. You know, we all have problems in our life, and some of us don't even know that we have problems. Just want to let you know you have problems. It's okay, me too. But I want to help you get to the root of all of your problems in life.
Okay.
Here it is.
I'm listening.
Beware of turning to evil, which you seem to prefer to affliction. You see, we grew up, and when life got hard, when we went through suffering, when we went through difficulties, what did we turn to? Evil. Yeah, Noel says pleasure. That was my story. I grew up in a religious household. I grew up with my mom and dad being pastors. But at the age of 15, they got a divorce. And immediately I turned to drinking. I became an alcoholic for the next 9 years. Because when I could drink, when I could feel good, when I could numb out my problems with alcohol, when I was around friends who gave me their approval, yeah, it made all my problems what? Melt away, disappear. Until I woke up the next day with a huge hangover, and then I was like, man, guess what all those problems are? They're still there. You know, perhaps some of us came from a good family or like a religious upbringing, and we never did those things. We never did the drinking, the partying, the crazy life. It's okay. You just had something else that was evil. Yeah, I like played video games for 10 hours. I didn't read my Bible. I didn't pray. I didn't live for God. I just played video game. Are video games sin? No. 10 hours of video games. Not knowing your Bible, ignoring your calling and your purpose from God, ignoring your problems and just getting lost in the world of video games. Yeah. You made a God in your life. It was called comfortability. And it was expressed through all the video games. Okay. Well, I came to college and it was super hard, so I buried myself in my homework. I stopped going to church. I stopped doing Bible study. I stopped doing these things because it was just so hard. And if I don't, I can't even talk about it because I'm getting a panic attack.
Come on, Nate.
Okay, here's the problem. You put your hope in school, and that doesn't actually like help your heart and your soul. It doesn't give you peace. In fact, it increases your pressure and your anxiety and your stress. But you put your hope in it, and then you're like, oh, well, how come I don't feel better? You made a god out of school.
Yeah.
Well, it has nothing to do with school. I just got to do good with school because my parents will finally accept me and tell me they love me. Well, if they didn't do that the first 18 years, not that your parents don't love you. My parents love me.
Yeah.
They just had a problem telling me that.
Yeah.
Right? So we make our imperfect parents God. We try to please them, but we just don't ever hear those words. I love you. I'm proud of you. Good job. You're so special.
So true.
And so we think if we do well in school, they'll finally accept us. Right? And so, we got to understand, we've turned to evil. We've turned to things that don't actually become God in our lives. Can't really help us the way God can.
Come on, Nate.
But here's the thing. Those things are better than what? Affliction.
Yeah.
They're better than affliction. It's better than feeling hurt. It's better than feeling rejected. It's better than feeling stressed. It's better than feeling pressure. It's better than affliction.
Come on, Nate.
So we struggle with we struggle with sitting in hardship. Let me put it that way. Yeah. Job gives us a warning.
Come on, Nate.
Beware. Be careful. Don't do that. You know, we can think sometimes that pain is what? Bad. And pleasure is what? Good. So if it feels good, it must be good. If it feels good, it cannot be what? Bad. That's not true. It's called hedonism.
Yeah. Talk about that.
It's a way of living called hedonism. And we know this isn't true, right? We know this is't true, right? If you've ever been to the gym and ever got a good exercise, right? How do you feel the next day or two? If you do it right. You feel sore. You ever do a leg day? The pain. But that pain, is it bad for you?
No.
It doesn't feel good, but is it bad for you? No, you get stronger.
Yeah.
I think about our military, right? They go through boot camp. Have you guys ever seen the movies? And it's very painful, boot camp. Is that bad for them because it's hard? No, it might even save their lives. Right? And so we endure pain to do something greater, to be better, to get stronger. So we know that not everything that's painful is bad.
Right.
We know not everything that feels good is actually good for it. Like, if that's the case, heroin is I'm sure, fantastic. You just shoot up with heroin.
Absolutely.
I hear it. I've never done it, but I hear it's very, very pleasurable.
Whoa.
But if we did heroin, I mean, a year, 2 years from now, yeah, our life's over.
Yeah.
We'll ruin our lives. Yeah. So pleasure isn't always the best thing. Yeah. We can't live that way.
Come on, Nate.
We understand that when it comes to like the gym and heroin. It's a very dramatic example. But we can forget that principle in our walk with God.
Yeah, come on, bro.
God, why are you allowing these bad things happening to me? God, why do I have to go to the Friday night devotional? It's just so hard. If I could just stay home and do my homework and stare at a wall and just do nothing, it'd be so good. Right? And so we have these great questions, right? What we need to do is respond like Job.
Come on,
Let's
bro.
go over here, Job chapter 1.
Come on, Nate.
Come on.
Job chapter 1, look right here in verse 20.
Let's go, Nate.
Come on.
Come on, bro. Let's go, bro.
I'm with you, bro.
Look at Job here. Job just found out. He lost his fame, he lost his family, he lost his money, he lost his grain, he lost it all. How does Job respond in affliction? Job chapter 1, verse 20. At this, Job got up, tore his robe, shaved his head, fell to the ground in worship. And he said, naked I came from my mother's womb. Naked I will leave. The Lord gives, the Lord takes away. May the name of the Lord be praised.
Wow.
And all of this, Job did not sin by charging God with wrongdoing. Wow. You see, strength is not like showing how great you are at whatever you're good at. And I'm sure we're all good at a lot of things, and that's awesome. Strength is how we respond to hardship.
Yeah.
Strength is when we respond to being in a tough spot. Strength is how we act under pressure. Strength is when we fall down, we get back up, we keep going. It's perseverance. It's endurance. It's a marathon at the pace of a sprint.
Yeah.
Come on, bro. Strength is not about perfection. It's about commitment.
Yeah.
Come on, bro.
Yeah.
All right, let's turn over here to 2 Chronicles chapter 16.
Yeah. Oh, I like that one. Come on, bro.
16, we'll look right here in verse 9.
Come on, 8.
2 Chronicles 16:9 says, "For the eyes of the Lord, for the eyes of God, range throughout the whole earth. They look over the whole earth to strengthen those whose hearts are fully committed to Him." Now, very sadly, the king was not fully committed. So right after that, it says, "You've done a foolish thing." He got uncommitted. You see, sometimes we make the mistake of like, life's so hard, school's so busy, I don't have time to commit to God. I don't have time for Bible studies. I don't have time for go to church. Okay, so you want to be uncommitted. No, I'm too busy. When I'm stronger, when I can handle homework, when I can handle the pressure, then I'll get serious about God. It's backwards, bro.
Yeah.
That's backwards. That's not how the Bible works.
Yeah.
It says get committed now. And then God gives you the strength.
Come on, bro. Come on, Nate.
No, we don't like commitment as a society. Why? We like the Netflix free trial. I want like the 30-day, like it costs me nothing. I want to check it out. I want to poke around. And then if it suits me, if it's comfortable to me, if it's easy for me, all right, then I'll commit. By that, I mean like $9.99, $9.99 on my credit card. Guys, that's nothing. Come on. It's not even commitment. You don't even watch Netflix sometimes. You forget you pay for it. Come on, it's like hardly commitment, right? You know, we want like, we have a consumer mentality in our relationship with God. What can God do for me? All right? What does church do for me? The band better be good. The preacher better be funny. We have all these the service better be cool. We have all these expectations.
Starbucks.
And Starbucks in the lobby, and all those things benefit us. All those things benefit us, but rather thinking, am I gonna love God?
Yeah.
Through the good, the bad, and the ugly. You know, perhaps you came in here tonight and you're like, man, I just became a disciple. I just started following God, but it's harder than I thought. It's okay. It's good.
Yeah.
You're getting stronger.
Yeah.
You're getting faster.
Come on.
You're able to handle more pressure. You never know what's in a tea bag until what?
Put it in hot
Put it in
water.
hot water. Guys, I can throw out 97 different sayings. Even non-religious people understand this, right? A lump of coal, you put it under pressure and fire, and what comes out?
A
A
diamond.
diamond. Like, right? Like, guys, like these are like, the world has figured out these things. Right? You can go to a motivational self-help type seminar and they're going to tell you how hardship is going to make you stronger, how the challenges in life are going to make you better. Guys, this is not like a secret.
Yeah.
We just don't expect to find it where?
In the Bible.
Yeah, in the Bible.
Come on.
Because we've been sold like, what can God do for me?
Yeah, come on, Nate.
Versus how can I show God that I love Him even through the hardest parts of our life?
There we go.
Come on.
My second point,
Come on, bro.
the real relationship.
Come on. Let's go.
Let's go
Nate.
over here, Job chapter 2. And we're going to pick it up a little bit. It's a little
Come on, Nate.
Got a lot to say. I don't have a lot of time. Job chapter 2, pick it right here in verse 1.
Come on.
Come on, bro.
On another day, the angels came to present themselves before the Lord. Satan also came with them to present himself before God. The Lord said to Satan, "Where have you come from?" Satan answered, "From roaming throughout the earth, going back and forth on it." Then the Lord said to Satan, "Have you considered my servant Job? There is no one on earth like him. He is blameless and upright, a man who fears God, shuns evil. He maintains his integrity. Though you incited me against him to ruin him without reason." God saying, in other words, saying you're wrong. And I was right.
Come on, bro.
You see, man proved God right. That it is possible for us as human beings to love God through the good of life and through the bad.
Come on.
It's possible. Job answers the question. But Satan keeps coming. Look at what he says. Skin for skin, Satan replied. A man will give all he has for his own life. Stretch out your hand, strike his flesh and bones, and he will surely curse you to your face. The Lord said to Satan, very well, he is in your hands, but you must spare his life. So Satan went out from the presence of the Lord and afflicted Job with painful sores from the soles of his feet to the crown of his head. How bad was Job's health? He took a piece of broken pottery, scraped himself.
Gosh.
When he scraped the boils and the dry skin, it would hit the ground and become, it says here, he sat among ashes. Wow. I don't know what condition Job had.
Dryness?
But eczema? Well, I don't know what Job had here. But he's so in such pain.
He was ashy.
He's in such pain. He's lost his money, his family, his kids, and now something that we as young people take for granted. What did he lose? He lost his health. He lost his health. You know, he started having health problems. You kind of, why? Woe is me, God, why? Job's feeling it. Job is feeling it. You know, worse than losing your health and your family and your money, you know what Job loses? We're about to read it. He loses his relationships. Let's look right here, verse 9. His wife said to him, are you still maintaining your integrity? Why don't you curse God and die? Job replied, you are talking like a foolish woman. Come on, there you go. Shall we accept good from God and not trouble? In all of this, Job did not sin in what he said.
Come on.
My second point, the real relationship. You know, some of us, we think that getting a boyfriend or a girlfriend is going to make us happy. Oh, you're in for it. You're in for it. But if I just find Mr. Right, my knight in shining armor, if I just find the woman of my dreams, hey, yo, Ma, what's good? What's good? Let me talk to you, Ma.
Let's go.
You know, I don't know how the kids do it nowadays. I don't know. Just show what I've seen on the TikTok. All right? I'm trying to relate to your young kids.
You should get out.
Talking.
It's good. Thank you.
That was good.
Is that how they do it?
Yeah.
All right.
Exactly like that.
All right.
That's how they
Let me slide into the DMs. Is that what they say? Don't do that?
Sorry.
It's okay, bro.
Swipe right. What do we do?
A little bit.
Let me go to Yo Pablo. Oh! Go on a Friday night. Go to Yo Pablo. They'll be there. They'll be there. Just right there across the street. You find them. You find all of them. It's so sad. We think that a relationship, a romantic relationship, is going to fix all of our problems. We've been sold the Disney lie. Oh! Cinderella ends up with Prince Charming. Right? Beauty and the Beast. This is like, girls, you can fix him. Who cares if he's abusive? You can fix him. Your love will change him. This is the Disney lie.
Yeah, come on.
This is the darkness of what we think a relationship's supposed to be like.
Yeah, bro. Be real.
Come on.
Come on.
Come on. Right? Like, let me tell you. You're gonna grow up at some point. You're gonna get married. The divorce rate in America is what? 50%. Take a quarter. Flip it in the air. Call one, heads or tails. The chances of you being right is the chance of your marriage succeeding.
Oh my God.
A coin flip. It's a coin flip. Right? Like you want to put your hope and you think your life's going to be fixed because you get married? You're basing your life on a coin flip. My God.
It's not that.
You know, Job chose to follow God no matter what.
Yeah.
Job chose to follow God no matter what. And his wife stopped following God. Does that mean Job stopped? No. Who did he put first? God. Well, Nate, I feel like this is an Old Testament lesson. I feel like in Jesus, and we have like grace and love and acceptance and like the good stuff. All right. Let's go over here, Matthew chapter 10.
There you go.
Oh, come on.
Matthew chapter 10, all
Come on,
right?
Nate.
We all want Jesus. I want Jesus. We want Jesus. I want Jesus.
We all scream.
Matthew chapter 10, we'll look right here in verse 34.
Come on, Nate.
Come on, Nate.
The real relationship.
Come on, Nate. Come on, bro.
Matthew 10:34. Jesus speaking. The letters are read in your Bibles. Jesus.
Oh, thank you, bro.
Do not suppose. So if you thought this, you were wrong. Do not suppose that I have come to bring peace to the earth. I did not come to bring peace.
Whoa.
But a sword. For I have come to turn a man against his father, a daughter against her mother, a daughter-in-law against mother-in-law. A man's enemies will be the member of his own household.
Wow.
Anyone who loves their father or mother more than me is not worthy of me. Anyone who loves their son or daughter more than me is not worthy of me. And whoever does not take up their cross and follow me is not worthy of me. Whoever finds their life will lose it. And whoever loses their life for my sake will find it.
Come on.
Here we go.
Awesome, bro.
Let me tell you, Jesus, if he was on earth during the time of Job, would have stood there and patted him on the back and said, good job.
There you go.
Come on.
We need more Jobs in the world. We need more men and women who are willing to put Jesus and God as a number one relationship
Yeah. Let's go.
over everything else.
Come on.
And people are not willing to do that. Jesus says you're not even worthy to be in a relationship with me.
God.
Isn't that wild?
Yeah.
Wow.
Go read Luke 14, 25 to 27. Just write it down in your notes. Go read it on your own time. He says it twice in the Bible.
Yeah.
You know, some of us might be a little shocked. Like, whoa, I didn't know Jesus said that. Yeah. You think this is a popular American? You think I got up here tonight and was like, all right, guys, I'm excited to preach a popular message that everyone's going to quickly accept. No, I came here to preach what?
The truth.
Come on.
I came here to preach the truth. Now, I believe that we are strong. I believe that we can go through the hardships of life and choose God.
Yeah.
I believe that in this room sits men and women who are fully committed to God no matter what. But the story goes on. I have a few more things for you. We've read the first 2 chapters of Job. And how do you guys feel? Maybe a little overwhelmed. It's a little intense. Obviously, we know how Job ends the first 2 chapters. He's like, you know what? No. I'm sticking with God. He's lost everything except one thing. There's one more thing, one more test Job has to pass. You guys know what it is? Let's go over here. The book of Job. I don't even notice. Job is like 42 chapters, 44 chapters, something. Job's 40-something chapters. And we've only done the first 2 chapters. So yeah, we can kind of be like, okay, I feel like Job has answered all of his life's questions. Follow God no matter what. That's it. Isn't that a good enough message, right? There's one more thing. Job chapter 2, verse 11.
Come on, Nate.
When Job's 3 friends, Eliphaz the Temanite, Bildad the Shuhite, and Zophar the Naamathite, heard about all the troubles that had come upon Job, they set out from their homes. They met together in agreement to go sympathize with Job, their friend, and to comfort him. When they saw Job from a distance, they could hardly recognize him. They began to weep aloud. They tore their robes. They sprinkled dust on their heads. They sat on the ground with him for 7 days and 7 nights. No one said a word to him because they saw how great his suffering was. Here's the last test of Job. It's going to be his friendships. It's going to be acceptance of other people. It's going to be acceptance of classmates and longtime friendships. I believe this is the hardest thing. This is probably the number one thing that people put above God. It's peer pressure.
Yeah.
It's peer pressure. Going to college, living a different life, taking a stand. No matter how hard it gets for you. You know, all of us in our life, we have an Eliphaz, Bildad, and a Zophar, a.k.a. friends, who eventually will test our walk with God.
Come on.
And we've got to be able to take a stand. We've got to be able to take a stand.
Come on.
How do these three friends test Job? They actually tell him that he has learned wrong about his relationship with God. And they try and convince him. The first friend, Eliphaz, he says, hey, I can teach you about God, Job, because I've seen spirits and angels and demons. I've seen the stuff, man. I've seen it. You know, there's always, it never surprises me anymore. There's always some new guy on like Oprah or Mari or something. He's like, one night I died for 3 minutes and I went down to hell and let me tell you everything I saw. Or one man like, I died, I went to heaven for 10 minutes. I saw God and like, here's what he wants you to know. There's always some person with, I looked at a tortilla. I saw the face of Jesus in the tortilla. Like, it was crazy. Like, surely I know from God this tortilla, Jesus. Like, you guys ever heard the stories, right? Like, they're all over. Like, all over.
Only Latin.
Yeah, only Latin people see Jesus. That's Eliphaz. He's like the spiritual experience guy. And he tries to tell Job wrong stuff about God. There's a middle-aged guy, his name's Bildad. Bildad tries to tell Job that he's wrong about God because of traditions of the elders. He tells Job, he says, hey Job, like bro, you got your relationship with God wrong. And you know who's on my side? My parents, my grandparents, my old pastor. Like, don't you know, like all of the people before us, they agree on the same thing? Traditions of the elders, dude. And then Job's third friend, his name is Zophar. We all have this friend. This friend, he goes, bro, I'm just as smart as you are. Hey, bro, I Googled it too. It's on Wikipedia. It's on YouTube. Yeah, bro, like my best friend's a theological pastor, seminary, doctor of Bible, Nazarene church thing. So, yeah, I know as much as you do. It's my word versus your word. So, pride. Probably all that friend who's prideful and they just want to argue. Those are the three friends. Spiritual experience guy, traditions guy, I'm just as smart as you, pride guy. Right? And so those are the three friends, the three ways that friends try and attack Job. And we'll run through it pretty quickly. My third point, stranger things are danger things. Stranger things are danger things. Job chapter 4. Pick up in verse 1. Job's first friend. Then Eliphaz the Temanite said to Job, Job, if someone would venture a word with you, can I talk to you, Job? Will you be impatient? Who can keep from speaking? Think, Job, how you have instructed many, how you have strengthened feeble hands. Job, your words supported those who stumbled. You have strengthened faltering knees. But now trouble comes to you, Job, and you're discouraged. Trouble strikes you and you're dismayed. Should not your piety be your confidence, and blameless ways your hope? So he says, Job, you're guilty. You did something wrong. Consider now, who being innocent has ever perished? Were the upright ever destroyed? As I have observed, those who plow evil and those who sow trouble reap it. So here's this guy's theology. Here's how he looks at God. He says, when people do bad things, guess what comes to them? Bad stuff. When people do good things, guess what they get? Good things. Kind of like karma. This guy basically, in a nutshell, karma's his view of God. That's his thing. What he's saying is like, Job, the reason why all your kids died, why you lost all your money, why you lost all your land, the reason why your wife hates you, you did something wrong. What'd you do, man? Confess. Speak up. I mean, honestly, what kind of friend is that? How would you feel if you're sitting like there, you lost your kids, your wife's leaving, walking out on you, you have no money, you're just like, your health is gone, your friend's like, bro, what did you do wicked?
Wow.
God only punishes the evil.
Have to throw hands.
You know what I'm saying? This is like the friend Job has. It's wild.
Come on.
Like, who needs a friend like that, right? Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, come on, bro.
It says right here in verse 9. It says, at the breath of God they perished. At the blast of his anger they are no more. They are no more. The lions roar and growl. Yet the teeth of the great lions are broken. The lion perishes for lack of prey. So he's saying Job's a lion, but he got humbled by God. Verse 12. How does this guy know this? Verse 12. A word was secretly brought to me. My ears caught a whisper. Amid disquieting dreams in the night, I had some dreams. When deep sleep falls on people, fear and trembling seized me, made my bones shake. Dude, a spirit glided past my face.
Wow.
The hair of my body stood up on the end. It stopped, but I cannot tell what it was. A form, I saw a form, stood before my eyes. I heard a hushed voice. Can a mortal be more righteous than God? Can a strong man be more pure than his maker? If God placed no trust in the servants, charges angels with error, how much more will those who live in houses of clay? His foundations are dust, crushed more readily than a moth. So you're basically saying this. I've seen an angel, I've seen spirits, I've heard a voice, I've had dreams, and if God sends messages through angels and dreams and spirits, what about men who are made of clay and dust? We can't trust them. Job, what did you do wrong? I heard from an angel or from a spirit. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
This is his argument of Job. Now here's the question. Is Job guilty? No. Has Job done anything wrong? No. Actually, God tells Satan in the first 2 chapters, behind the scenes, what does he say? Hey, Job's blameless. He's done nothing wrong. So we already know. We, the reader, understand like the real outcome.
Yeah, come on, bro.
But we kind of like get to see this great conversation, this great debate about God between 2 friends. One suffering and one with his false teaching. You know, why is this so important? Because I believe we live in a day and age where we think that spiritual experiences are more important than the Bible. Look at Galatians chapter 1. What does that have to do with the New Testament? Galatians chapter 1.
There we go.
I feel.
And we'll look right here in verse 6.
Come on, Nate.
It's New Testament, guys. It's Christianity.
Come on.
Paul says, I am astonished. I am astonished you are so quickly deserting the one who called you to live in the grace of Christ. You're turning to a different gospel, which is really no gospel at all. Evidently, people are throwing you into confusion. They're trying to pervert the gospel of Christ. But even if we or an angel from heaven should preach a gospel other than the one we preach, let them be under God's curse. It's a crazy concept, guys. Angels can go to hell.
Come on, bro.
Satan.
Angels can go to hell. Yeah, Satan was once an angel. Isn't that wild? You know, if you read in the temptation of Jesus, Satan quotes scripture right at Jesus. Wow. Yeah. I don't care what an angel says.
Yeah.
I'm going to trust the Bible 10 times out of 10.
Come on,
I
Nick.
think of 2 religions right now that started because a man saw an angel. Number 1,
Islam.
the Mormons. That's number 2. Their founder, Joseph Smith, created his whole religion, wrote a whole book because he saw an angel, a guy named Moroni, an angel named Moroni. Started the Mormon religion. Here's the thing. If it doesn't line up with the Bible, it's not right. But an angel, not right. The other one is Muhammad. We have a man who, in a sense, had a 7th grade reading level, never finished school, uneducated, poor speaker. He's in the middle of the desert. An angel comes to him, writes down the Quran on rocks and palm tree leaves and husks. And he gathers it, translates it into a book called the Quran, and starts what is today the world's fastest growing religion, Islam. But because he got it from an angel. And surely that can't be wrong, right? But the Bible says different.
Come on, bro.
Why? Let's go over here to 2 Corinthians 11:14.
Come on, Nate.
There we go.
28.
Come on, Nate.
13.
Even better.
2 Corinthians 11:13. It says, for such people are false apostles, deceitful workers, masquerading as apostles of Christ. No wonder, for Satan himself masquerades, puts on a mask, as what? As an angel of light.
Come on.
You know, some of us think Satan shows up like in a red costume with some horns, little tail, little ponytail, little pitchfork. Go, be a bad person. Like this, like. That's actually not how Satan works. He works by pretending to be Christianity. He works by pretending to be religion. That's how he works, by coming as an angel to people to have them start their whole false religion.
Come on, bro.
When really, what the first thing we need is the Bible. The last thing we need is a religious experience.
Yeah.
I'm not saying religious experiences don't happen. I'm sure they happen. But that's not why I choose to believe what I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah, come on.
I choose because of the truth of the Bible.
Come on.
Let's go over here. The traditions trap. The traditions trap. Job chapter 8. And we're almost done. We'll wrap up right here.
Come on,
Come on, bro.
Job chapter 8.
Come on, Nate.
A little bit of a longer lesson.
Come on, bro. Where is he, bro?
But I think it's important.
I need it.
I think it's a very challenging lesson.
Thank you, bro.
But it's good. The traditions trap. Job is having a hard time. And let's speak right here in verse 1. The Bible says, Then Bildad, the Shuhite, replied to Job. He's talking to Job. How long will you say such things? Your words are blustering wind. Does God pervert justice? Does the Almighty pervert what is right? Look at this guy. When your children sinned against him, he gave them over to the penalty of their sin.
Jeez.
He's like, hey, dude, your children deserve to die. Isn't that wild? It's great friends, Bildad. But if you will seek God earnestly, if you will beg with the Almighty, if you are pure and upright, even now, He will rouse Himself on your behalf. He will restore you to your prosperous state. Your beginnings will seem humble, and prosperous your future will be. That's his claim. You're in sin, your kids are in sin, your kids deserve what they got, they died. And now he's going to tell Job why that's his argument. Verse 8. Ask the former generation. Ask the former generation and find out what their ancestors learned. We were only born yesterday. We know nothing. Our days on earth are a shadow. Will they, the former generation, not instruct you and tell you? Will they not bring forth words from their understanding? So this is Bildad's argument. That, hey, we should only learn the Bible from our parents, from pastors, from the former generation. Surely they're right, and they can never be what? Wrong. You know, that's a little scary to preach.
Yeah.
Because I'm what? I'm a pastor.
Come on.
Yeah, sure. I could be wrong. I'm totally okay with that. But the problem is, it's never about who's right. It's about what? What's right. And what's always right? The Bible. But if you're not reading your Bible every day, if you're not growing in your walk with God, how can we check? Right? If what we're being taught is right or wrong. How many of us are taking notes? Right? To check what I'm preaching. Everybody still has a ball notebook.
Let's go, everybody.